Hi everyone, it's me, Armilla, and today I'm going to present the functions of operating system. Computer science at UCSC, yay! So, today I'm going to discuss 9 items. There are 9 items which are human-computer interface, multitasking, platform for running application software, management of user account, management of files, hardware protocol management, memory management, interrupt handling routine, and lastly, security. So, these 9 items, in today's presentation, I'm going to discuss each items with the definition, purpose, their purpose, and their examples. And let's start with the first one, human-computer interface. So, what is a human-computer interface? So, this is the way we talk to our computer. So, it allows humans to give comments and receive feedback from the system. So there are 3 types of interface. First one is CLI, command line interface. It's where you type the commands. The second one is graphical user interface. It's where you click icons and use of the menus. And lastly, the third one is the voice interface. This is using speech to control devices. For example, like Google Assistant or Siri. When you say, "Okay Google," it will pop up. And what is the purpose? The HCI will make computer accessible and easier to use by user. It also saving time and reducing technical difficulty for users. Next one is multitasking. It's where the OS can handle multiple processes at once. The OS the the OS will switch us between tasks so quickly that user feel multiple programs are running simultaneously. The examples is listening to music while browsing the internet while downloading files or editing documents at the same time. Third one is the platform for running application software. So, how it works? The OS acts as a foundation for running application programs. It offers application program interfaces or APIs and manages system resources like CPU, memory, and storage apps. There are platform examples too. The OS provides the environment, the memory, and access to hardware. The platform examples are Windows, macOS, Linux, Android, and iOS. The next one is the management of users' account. So how can OS manages many multiple users? So the OS allows different people to use the same computer safely by creating separate logins. The OS will also allows the separate accounts to have each settings, files, preferences, and their own algorithms. And how does OS make sure the accounts are safe and not misused? Then there comes authentications and permission. The OS will ensure security through authentications. Authentication is like passwords, pins, or biometrics. If the authentication match, it will give the permissions to the users, and the users can access or modify their specific files and programs. Next one is managing files. So the OS will keep track of where all your photos, documents, and apps are stored. The OS will organize its data into files and folders. There are common there are common file systems which are NTFS, FAT32, and APFS. So file system. So how OS handles storage and retrieval. When a file is saved, the OS determines its locations on the disk. And when you suddenly accidentally delete it, the OS can retrieve it. The next one is the hardware peripheral management. So The operating system will control your operating system controls devices will control devices through programs called drivers. And what is device drivers? Device drivers are specialized programs that allows the OS to communicate with hardware devices. They are like translators between hardware and software. The examples are printers, keyboards, and USB. And then the next one is memory management. The OS here will decide which programs get memory and when to free it. And virtual memory and paging are also known as the secondary storage. So when physical memory or the random access memory is full, the OS uses part of the hard disk as virtual memory. Paging divides memory into small sections or pages and loaded only what's needed into RAM. So it will save your memory. The next one is interrupt handling routine. What are interrupts? An interrupt is a signal to stop the CPU's current task to give immediate attention to another task, often from hardware, um, often from hardware or software. Like for example, when you press a key or you move your mouse, the OS will immediately pauses what it's doing, handles the doing, and how OS responds to the hardware or software when there are interrupts. The OS will temporarily pauses the current process. It will handle the interrupt and then they go back to work. And lastly is the security. Is where the OS will protect your data with password, access control, and encryptions. So managing logins and passwords. The yeah access control and encryptions basics. So access control will define who can read, write, or modify the files. Encryptions is encryptions help to protect data by converting the data into a special coded format to prevent unauthorized access. And that's for all today. Thank you for looking at my presentations and I hope you enjoy and get new lessons. Thank you.